when it comes to adult animation, you get the big hitters like, oh yeah, Family Guy, The Cleveland Show, or Brickleberry. Yeah, but I'm here to say that those choices are not good. Animation, in my opinion, is for everyone, not just for kids. But I don't think, but I think that if Hollywood changes their minds about certain projects and creators actually caring about what they're putting out,
Cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
I think that animation will be a beloved genre that everybody enjoys. And since I just said that animation can be for everyone, there's a reason why there's adult animation, so that we can, spread out more mature themes that can be found in kids shows. Ha! That's a knee slapper. What are you, a freaking idiot? No! Why do we need adult animation to tell us complex stories when we can just put in fart jokes, but like vomits? Let's put genitals in front of the screens because that's so adult and edgy. Yeah, adult animation, despite the name, is clearly more, how do I say this, less mature than actual shows that are aimed towards kids. And even though adult animation has been hated throughout the years, I still think some shows are good. The Black Dynamite TV show is really hilarious and I really love watching it. The Boondocks is really great. BoJack Horseman will forever be one of the most depressing, if not the most depressing piece of media I have ever seen.
Behind the counter gave me that free churro. That small act of kindness showed more compassion than my mother gave me her entire goddamn life. Like, how hard is it to do something nice for a person? This woman at the Jack in the Box didn't even know me. I'm your son. All I had was you.
And I am an avid viewer of let's say, this show that I'm about to talk about. That's right. There you may have your The Critics, you may have your The Simpsons, and you may have the Clerks TV show. But my favorite adult animated show of all time has to be The Oblongs. Created by Angus Oblong, not his real name. It was not based off of, something that he already made before. Like he didn't make a book or like comic about oblongs and then boom, the show about oblongs. It was actually based off of one of his books that he made called Creepy Susie and 13 Other Stories for Deformed or Autistic Children or something like that. I don't know. Let that PNG image that I'm about to show you do the rest of the work. And he was asked if he wanted to do his own show, and he said, "Screw it, let's do it." And that's how The Oblongs was made, and it was aired on a network that I do not know about. I'm sorry, I don't do much research, but I do watch the show, so here's what I know of. Before I'm gonna tell you the characters, before I tell you the characters, I'm gonna tell you about the setting of the TV show. Basically, the whole premise of the show is that you have the hills, which is where the rich white people live, and then we have the bottom, which I don't know how it was called in the show, but basically you have the hills, and then you have the bottom. And the hills belongs to the rich white people, and the bottom belong to the poor people. Hey, kind of like real life society. Who knew? And while the hills have clean oxygen and good and homes with water and electricity, the bottom has unbreathable air, sewage, and all that stuff. It's basically like a sewage drain for all the stuff the hills people are producing. And our main focus of the show is the Oblong family, starting with Milo, the main character of the show, who apparently has disability. Yeah, every character in the bottom has a disability. And I'm about to list the characters and their disabilities. Milo has ADD, not ADHD.
Cool. I'm cured of all my problems.
You really think so? What about your attention deficit disorder? Milo!
People are saying ADHD is not dead. He's a really close to being my favorite character, and he is really hilarious.
You may control my mind, but you'll never control my ass.
Bob Oblong, which is the father of the Oblong family, and honestly, I think he's a really great father. He's the type of dad who still wears the 1950s attire, visits your sports matches, and goes into your room without asking you, "Are you winning, son?" Biff and Chip, who are conjoined twins and are athletes. And Biff and Chip, I'm just going to let the coach say about what they have.
Well, Biff has a lot of potential, but no initiative. And Chip has a lot of initiative, but no potential.
Pickles Oblong, who's the mother of the Oblong family. She's alcoholic. She smokes a lot, and she's bald, and apparently that's her disorder. And despite what I just said, she's actually like one of the most like positive characters in the entire show. She may be morbid sometimes, but she's actually pretty hilarious and lighthearted. And then we got Beth, the youngest member of the Oblongs family, who's really quiet, but whenever she speaks, she says like some like unexpectedly hilarious stuff.
Oh, I do. They're an essential part of any family. You keep right on tattling, sweetie pie.
Daddy has a magazine with naked ladies hugging.
All right, now that we got the main focus, like main family group, now I'm gonna introduce you to Milo's friends, Mikey, who is
Damn,
thick.
boy!
Helga Fugly, who's just a toad, who's like a fat toad kinda. Peggy Weggy, who has only one jaw and one boob. And my favorite character of the entire show, Creepy Susie. I really love that her disability is that she's just a French goth, and it's just hilarious. And also some of the lines that she says are pretty hilarious, despite being like morbid and gothic.
Drowning is my third favorite way to die, but they are all good.
And then we got your usual antagonist of the show, which is Bob's boss, called Major Johnny. And yeah, he's one of those bosses who act like the stepdad of like normal sitcoms, where like they hate the father of the show, and they boss him around. But sometimes, yeah, he just says some unexpected stuff that I just, kind of laugh.
Oblong!
I know, sir. I'm terribly sorry I missed work.
You missed work? I was just gonna yell at you to loosen some phlegm.
Will I still get paid for today?
There we go.
And then we have the Debbies, which is, led by a girl named Debbie. And they're just like your annoying, typical like group of white blonde girls that you see at every school.
Look, a novelty license plate that says Debbie.
And then we got Jared and Blaine, who are like, which Jared is like the brother of the main Debbie clan, and Blaine is just Jared's friend, and all they do is bully and terrorize Milo and his friend group.
Hey, that kid's imitating Fred Astaire! Get him!
And that's the basic gist of the show. And yeah, even though it was pretty short, I still really want to say some stuff that I love about the show. Pickles and Bob are a really great couple. Unlike some other shows that I've seen, they really love each other. And literally, like the first thing, like when you see Bob is waking up in the morning, seeing his wife who's clearly drunk and like losing breath because of how much she smokes and drinks. He still loves her. Like he calls her cute.
God, she's cute.
And whenever we see her and whenever we see Pickles mention Bob, she says that she gets to wake up next to the sweetest man of the world. If I only wish that some adult animated shows realized that having a couple doesn't mean you can like beat up a random person just whenever you want to. And I also really like Milo's friend group. Some of them like say some hilarious stuff, including Mikey. Mikey is just because he's thick doesn't mean he can bounce off of some jokes. And yeah, like I said, Creepy Susie, being my favorite character and all, she does say some hilarious jokes, but I do not like her like toad like jaw like formation that she has in like the first couple of episodes. Peggy is fine, I guess, and Helga's just there because fat. And now let me weave you a tale of the pilot, which is what I just told you. It begins with Bob saying how much he actually loves his wife. Biff and Chip fighting over personal hygiene. And then we have Milo, who doesn't like his special ed school, and really wants to move into a normal school with normal children. And then he does. And then when he's at his special ed school, he knocks out the teacher, in which the children eat her. Oh my goodness! And then boom, he gets transferred into normal school. And that's when Milo sees a girl named Yvette, and Milo is in love with her. And then, Milo goes to his mom to tell her about his feelings. And then the next day at school, he tries to shoot his shot, but he sees Yvette and what she actually is. And despite all the fact that she might be an alien, he's still amazed at the fact that she got a B+.
You got a B+ in math.
And that's whenever we see Miles' couple potential. Damn, if only Man, if I only had the same amount of courage as Milo does. But then, since Milo's from the bottom part and Yvette's from the hills, Jared and Blaine, are say, hey, Milo, just because she's you're from the bottom and she's from the hills, how can you ever deserve a girl like that? And then Milo isn't afraid to show his feelings, and then he tells Yvette that he loves her, but before he can tell her feelings, she gets freaking obliterated.
Yvette!
And then the episode ends with Pickles saying that even though she may be gone, she still has a connection in Milo's heart. And then the episode ends with Yvette probably being an electricity like sign, like electricity pole or something. I don't know.
I guess.
You know, when you love someone, they'll always be with you in your heart.
Really?
You betcha. Hey, when you get through poking at her, we'll put Yvette on the rose bushes. She'll make one heck of a fertilizer.
And the B plot of this is that Bob trying to find a job since he really wants to, help his family. Man, unlike some other shows I've seen. And then we have Pickles worrying about Bob not being able to find an actual good job that can make them some money. And yeah, couple goals, everybody. Best couple, probably like the best couple in an adult animated show. They don't hit each other. They don't abuse each other. Man, if I only wish that adult animated cartoons know that. And that's basically the gist of the Oblongs. It's just a really good adult animated show. Is it perfect? No, it does have its issues. Some of the jokes don't land, and I'm really not a big fan of like the jokes, like mean-spirited jokes towards Helga and like them trying to make Milo and Helga like a couple in the show, and I really didn't like that episode. But overall, I think it's a great show and definitely worth watching over some adult animated shows. All the episodes are on YouTube. They're free to watch, and if you like the show, hey, just comment this video if you like the show, if you forgot about the show, and then liked it, and yeah. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to mention, Milo is voiced by Bobby Hill, and Bob is voiced by Big Daddy Megamind. That's all I have to say. Good night, Tri-State Hills. Or however I'd say it. And now that I'm finally gone, now I'm gonna have to make that video, that Black Dynamite video I promised y'all like 6 months ago. Like dang. Alright, see you soon.